Thanks for tuning in. Please go to censored.tv and subscribe. We've got my daily show plus a ton of other shows uploaded daily for your amusement. Hello, I'm a multi-millionaire, and as a rich person, I want you to know I'm not paying for your shit. Mostly because your shit is way too expensive. Unfortunately, we are living in an era where math is dead, and entire groups of people are able to convince the country or the West in general that just a handful of billionaires can pay for all these trillion-dollar programs. I think it basically comes down to the fact that they don't get that a trillion is 1,000 billion. That one simple fact has crippled the minds of everyone left of center. So I was struck by this tweet that got me thinking. It's by Rob Delaney. He's like an actor, comedian guy. And he says, UK voters, pour a cup of tea, close your eyes, blah, 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 blah. Open your mind and realize that the billionaires, I hate billionaires, and their tax-dodging companies have trained and numbed you to accepting austerity and its attendant stress and misery. What? Well, you don't need austerity. These guys can pay for everything you need. Like, austerity just means bad stuff. So we don't need bad in the world. These guys can pay for all the badness to go away. That's literally what he's saying. Demand more. Fight. Dream. Okay. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. Rob Delaney is living in Britain now. He's American, but he's living in the UK, and his son died, I believe, so he's very focused on healthcare. So let's just click on this tweet, shall we? The one that he's retweeting there. All right. So judging by what Rob was saying, these 8 billionaires have to pay for British healthcare, I guess? Now, that's Carlos Slim up there in the corner. He's a Lebanese guy who lives in Mexico who makes money every time illegals send money back. He takes a little cut, so he's rich enough to save the New York Times from bankruptcy, where they, of course, quickly write fawning pieces about him. Why does this guy have to pay for UK's healthcare? Or like this guy here, he's that luxury brand guy. What's his name? Bernard Arnault. He owns like Louis Vuitton and everything, a hedge fund guy. He lives in France. Why is Britain his problem? Or then there's this guy, Amancio Ortega. He runs Zara, that clothing company. European dude. Why is he concerned with Britain? So I took a step back and I said, all right, let's try to crowbar some sort of a point into just this random like, yeah, there's rich people. I don't like bad. Hey, rich people, make the bad go away in a country that you don't live in. Yeah, I have to cherry pick billionaires from around the world to solve my problems. But let's just for fun create a point for Rob and for the left. How's this for a point? If you took the America's top 8 billionaires, we could pay for AOC's Green New Deal. That's what she implies every time she opens her fucking mouth. The subtext is, we're too nice to the rich, and if we just tweak them a little more, they could pay for all our shit. Now, it's tricky figuring out what exactly is the price of the Green New Deal. There's a group called the American Action Forum, and they managed to pull it up to $600,000 per household. They said that it estimated the plan could cost $51 to $93 trillion over the next decade. The estimated potential cost is $600,000 per household. The organization estimated the cost for eliminating carbon emissions from the transportation system alone was about 1.3 to 2.7 trillion. They also said guaranteeing a job for every American would be 44 trillion. Anyway, the general concept seems to be 93 trillion. Fox Business had another report that they just focused on the Green New Deal. And remember, AOC's Green New Deal talks about buildings being environmentally conscious and blah, blah, blah. It calls for massive investments, climate-friendly infrastructure to reduce greenhouse gas emissions to zero by 2050. Remember, initially she said within 10 years. She got in trouble for that. So now it's up to 2050. It has been estimated that the cost is around 93 trillion. Okay, so let's do that. Let's estimate AOC's Green New Deal in America. Now, I'm not doing the Rob thing where I'm taking billionaires from all over the world and trying to pay for my country. I'm saying American billionaires, the top 8, have to pay for AOC's wonderful plan, the Green New Deal. Again, a trillion is 1,000 billion. So we're talking about $93,000 billion. Okay, let's go back to the top richest men in America. We have Jeff Bezos. at 114 billion. Bill Gates at 106 billion. Warren Buffett has 80. Zuckerberg has 70. Larry Ellison has 65. Larry Ellison is like one of those hedge fund, like Bloomberg kind of guys that comes up with a system for stock trading. We got Larry Page at 55. Sergey Brin, is he the Yahoo guy or the Google guy? Whatever. That's 53. And then, of course, Michael Bloomberg at 53.4 billion. It's funny how almost all these guys are involved in hedge funds and finance stuff. If you want to make money, you should be around money, apparently. But anyway, okay. So let's add all those guys up. We have a total with the top 8 billionaires, 100% of their wealth gone, bankrupt, goes to AOC, and you get up to $597.8 billion, just shy of $600 billion. Now, if you recall, the AOC deal was $93,000 billion. 93,000, and you only have about 600. In other words, you'd need 155 times 100% of America's top 8 billionaires to get to 93 trillion. All of their wealth combined doesn't make it to 1% of that. All of their wealth is 0.64%. The billionaires ain't going to save you, dumbass. All right, let's get back to Rob Delaney's tweet, because I'm going to even take his absurd scenario and see how it pans out. He had these random 8 dudes, and I assume he wants to pay. Let's just say he only wants to pay for UK healthcare. So let's take his maniacal fucking crazy concept and say we're going to amass these 8 guys. Click on the picture or the other text. We're going to take these 8 guys, and they, for some reason or the goodness of their hearts, are going to completely empty their wealth, drain their bank accounts to zero to pay for UK healthcare. So we have, a lot of these are repeats from the top American ones. We have Larry Ellison, we already told you about him, Bill Gates, Carlos Slim we're adding to the mix at 62 billion. We already had Jeff and Mark. Amancio Ortega, 68 billion. Bernard Arnault, 101 billion, and we've already had Warren Buffett, right? What do those add up to? Those add up to more than the American, just a little bit more. Those add up to 668 billion. So the 8 men you see before you, if we amass all their wealth, they have 668 billion. UK healthcare is only 200 billion a year. That means that if we randomly plucked the top 8 billionaires in the world, we could handle the government's bizarre, mad hatter spending for 3 fucking years. These guys, and then you kill all those companies, all that wealth, all those jobs, all the functions that these companies provide, the luxury brands, they're all gone. Everything's done now in order to pay for UK healthcare for 3 years. You guys tell us we have to worry about the future and the earth might not be around and what about our grandchildren? You can't save one program in one country and make it last for 3 years while amassing the top 8 richest men in the entire world. You can't make it past 2022. Thanks for checking that out. Please check us out on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube. Oh, this is Mike. It's the phone.